Hello. Right, I've moved you up for this bit. This is basically finishing off the little starter piece that we did, because I thought, if you do this fairly quickly, you're going to want to know what to do with it. I've decided the easiest thing, and it's just my decision, you can change it to whatever you want, is to make a little sewing note, needle keeper. Okay, I think that's the easiest thing just to start with. So this is what I ended up doing with mine. Get it up closer for you. I just did some random stitches. I ran out of, well, more or less ran out of thread, I'll be honest with you. So it's a good job we chose to do a small bit. I used the other button to make another starburst there. I actually stitched on the safety pin and did a little starburst off that. That's just a simple running stitch. Oh, that reminds me, when I first started this, I called it slip stitch. It's not, sorry, I do apologise. It's running stitch. That's all we've done all the way through. Okay, so finished off that flower, did some long stitching down the side. On this one, I went across the corner and then just echoed down here. Again, all just running stitch. That's running stitch, and I went back the other way so they end up looking like little crosses. Okay, and just a little bit up there and across the top, just finished it off there. And basically well, I say run out, I haven't. I've got that many left, but yeah, I thought that's enough. I mean, we're just doing a very simple cover, okay? All right, so that's that. That's where I got to. Okay, so I think that's going to make a really nice little needle keeper, okay? All right, so I just thought I'd show you the finishing off, because if you've got to this stage already, you don't want to have to wait another week to finish off your little project. So because you might be really desperate to get on, or you might have thrown it in the bin, whichever way it went. So what I'm going to do is take out my great big tacking stitches now, because we don't need those anymore. So let's just snip there and pull these out. I'm sorry if you can hear dogs barking. I've told people before that my neighbour's a dog groomer and she's got a particularly squeaky one in today, so I have closed the window properly, so hopefully you won't hear it very loudly. Right, so that's our piece, okay? Get it in screen, that helps. All right, so there we are. You can do as much as you like. You could have done the whole thing. As I say, this is just a starter piece. So what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? I'm going to roughly follow the edges of this top baby wipe, which is here, okay, because we put down 2. So again, I'm just going to snip it. You are going to have scissors, I'm afraid. So like I said before, most households have got scissors. Don't worry if it's not bob on dead straight. This is just a little needle keeper. As you progress, you will end up getting more equipment to help you square things up. A great thing to get is a patchwork ruler. Okay, they are so useful for all sorts of things. If you've got a ruler, fine, and if you've got a craft mat, great, because you can square up on a craft mat. I'm just assuming that you've got very limited stuff, so we are just going to cut a probably very unsquare square. Just going to trim the bottom off a bit. Whoop. Okay. And yeah, that's going to be a perfect size to keep our needles and our bit of thread left over. All right, so what we're going to do is tidy up a bit here. Grab our pillowcase, because we'll have loads left over. All right, because there's quite a lot of fabric in a pillowcase, believe it or not. And we're just going to cut another piece to the same size as what we've got here. Because again, I thought, if we're going to line it, what we're going to line it with, I mean, ideally you would line it with felt. You might not have a piece of felt left over, because felt is handy. Let's get in screen. Felt is really handy. You can just shove your pins in it, but we haven't got any, so that's fine. If you've got another couple of dry baby wipes, you can put them on top now, cut them to the same size. It will just give you that extra bit of wadding feel to it. Okay, let's shove that out of the way. Just going to tidy up the edges. Are we in screen yet? Good. It's a seam, that's why that's bulky. Normally I use a rotary cutter, a bit out of practice with scissors. Okay, so get your piece right side up. Get your lining piece right side down, face to face. Okay, again, if you haven't got pins, big tacking stitches just to hold it together, I'm going to pin it for quickness. So I've only got a few pins. Okay, I'm just going to do, it's just to stop it slipping as we are hand stitching these two layers together. Now, if you think you might forget, where's the back? This side. Just mark with a pencil. You need to leave, on screen, yeah. You need to leave an opening. So I'm just going to lightly mark a line there. And we need to leave, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches, something like that, because we're going to turn it all through that gap. Okay, I've just put 2 light pencil marks there and there. Okay, so when we stitch, we are going to stitch from here, from this top line, round, all the way round, 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 all the way here, and then we're going to stop at this one. Okay, but don't cut your thread off, leave your thread on for now. So let's just make sure we've lined this all up properly. So you can see it's not quite lined up there. Make sure it all fits-ish. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so we are now going to stitch. So like I say, start from, if you've tacked this down, obviously you won't have pins in the way, but if you're not, so we're going to stitch here. We're going to come in about 1 centimetre. I don't know what that is in inches. Is it about 1/4 inch, I think, something like that. And we're going to take off the white thread off of our little thingy here, and hopefully this will be enough to go all the way around. Now we are going to use something called back stitch on this one, and I will show you exactly what back stitch is. It's like running stitch, but it's filled in, if that makes sense, and I'll show you what it is. So let's thread our needle. Okay, again, let's do our knot on the end. This is where it all goes into a mess. I think it's just come undone. Sorry, I completely messed that one up. Let's see if we did. Yeah, we did. Okay, try again. I was getting a knot, I could feel it underneath, so okay, little knot. So again, start from here. Okay, there's the 2, sorry, they're a bit faint, aren't they? There's the 2 pencil lines there and there. So I'm going to start from this one. Okay, about 1 centimetre in ish. Hasn't got to be dead accurate. First of all, we need to sort out this. What the heck is going on here? If you get a little weird knotting going on, just gently play around with it until it undoes itself. It's the tail on the thread has decided to knot itself. I've got quite a long piece here actually. Work on shorter pieces if it keeps doing it. Alright, so a back stitch is you go forward 1 like a running stitch, like you're doing a running stitch, but then we go back to where that one ended. All right, so it's forward one, back one. So we're going to go forward one. Oh, it's going to keep knotting, isn't it? And then back one, okay? And you line up with the last. I don't know if you're getting this. Is it going to focus? Might not. So you just go back to where the last one come out. So my last one's coming out there. It might show up better on the orange, actually. Oh, this thread. Sorry, let me just sort that out. Somehow got a tiny little knot in there. Right, that's got rid of it. Okay, so back there. Okay, and this is a nice secure stitch, and your cover should stay together quite nicely. You could do something called raw edge, where you would just stitch the fabrics back to back, and you'd have like a fluffy raw edge. But I thought it'd be quite nice to actually finish it off. So I'll come to the corner. So I'm going to go back to that last one, and then sort of angle the needle without stabbing my finger up to there. Okay, so I'm going to sit down now and do it all the way around. You've kind of got the idea of what I'm doing. Just make sure I'm on screen. Yeah, cool. Okay. Try and keep it straight, she says. These can be, they need to be smallish. Am I going about 5mm, something like that? Yeah, don't do giant stitches because it'll show on the other side. These might be a bit too big actually, but I'm just sort of rushing this through. I'm actually going to do this live with you because I want to show you what to do when we turn it through. I should have started it, I suppose. Sorry, might go for a couple of minutes. I do apologise. So just keep back stitching all the way around. I think what I'll do is I'll just do running stitch for me. You keep back stitching. I just want to get to the end and show you what to do when you turn it through. Right, I'm just going to rush this through. Right, so you just keep doing back stitch all the way around. It doesn't take long, but I just don't want this video to be massively long for you because the other one went on enough. I will back stitch the corner. Probably what I'll do when I've done this is actually stick it on the machine and just machine the edges. Right, back stitch. You back stitch, I'm running. Like I said, if you had another couple of dry baby wipes, put them in between because it just gives you a bit of padding for sticking your pins through your needles, but that's fine. This is fine. It's feeling quite nice actually. Am I going to have enough cotton? That is the question. I might not. There's a surprising amount on that little thing actually, so it's pretty good. Don't want that to pucker, so I'm just going to pull that straight. just take the pins out of the way for a minute. You can go away. Just keep the other one on there for now. We've got a thread race. See if I've got enough thread to get to the end here. Might be. Be a bit frustrating if I've just got to put a bit on just for that last bit. Make sure I'm catching everything here, so I can see the line of my underneath bit, so I'm just going to come in a little bit further, that one. So there's my finish line. Okay, just going to make it, like I say, you backstitch all that, and then you'll have a nice secure seam then. If you've got a sewing machine, by all means stitch it by machine, it's up to you. Okay, so just finish that off there, just put the needle there, pin out. So I'll just get out closer for you. So if it was all back stitched, what I would do is just chop the corners off. Okay, go fairly close to the stitching but not too close. All right, this might go a bit wonky, but we'll just keep going. We'll pretend that we've back stitched it all. It's all repairable, so that's fine. Okay, so you would have finished, so you just started there, finished there, happy days. So now you just pop your fingers inside, and what I tend to do is put my thumb and forefinger in, and then I scrumple it up until I grab the other end. I say yours will be all beautifully stitched, mine isn't at the moment. And then I just grab it, pinch it, and then pull it through. Okay. So you keep pulling and pulling and pulling until basically it's all turned around the other way. So you've now got your right side this side, and you've got your right side that side with all your stitching on. So just feel through the gap again, go out to the corners and just pop the little corners through. I say mine are going to be gappy because I've only done a running stitch, I didn't do a back stitch. Find the other corner, you can feel it underneath, and just pop it through. If you've got a pencil, you might have a knitting needle, crochet hook, cocktail stick. I use, not cocktail stick, kebab stick. All right, I use one of those sometimes. So I can't push these right through because I haven't stitched it properly. Naughty. But I wanted to speed it up a bit. I don't want this to be too long. Okay, so grab your last couple of corners here. So just ease them out. They might end up with a slightly rounded look. That's fine. Try not to distort your fabric, just gently ease it. Okay. Alright, so there we are. You can press it at this stage with the iron. Don't iron it, press. Okay, just like that. Bit of steam. You might want to put a cloth over the top just to make sure, in case your iron might have some sticky bits on it. The obligatory cat hair, of course, when you live with a cat. Oh, yeah, see, it's because I haven't backstitched all mine. Right, okay, so we've got that now. All right, so it's all beautifully finished off on the edges. All right, gives a really nice finish to it, actually, if you've backstitched it. All right, so just pull the end like that, and these bits will naturally kind of want to go in. It is handy to have a pin at this stage. If you don't, if you've got a bulldog clip or maybe a hair clip or something, right, just to clip that together, because what we're going to do now is if I can get it to go together. These are my little wonder clips. If you're a sewer, you've got these, I should imagine. Sorry, I'm going to have to use those. If you've got a bulldog clip, a paper clip, you know, the little, where are they? Can't see them for looking. Right, okay, let's not worry. So we just need to close up that end now. All sorts of options. You could, like with a black thread, go back round and just do one more row of straight stitch. Oh dear, honestly. Which would give it a nice border actually. So what are we at? 20 minutes already. Okay, I'm not gonna make you go through that. So that's all our corner bits. So just lay that back there. If you just sort of roll it, it kind of sorts itself out. Oh, let's do it quickly. Right. So I'm just going to get the black thread off. I'm not going to have enough here. So I'll just give you a rough idea of what I mean. In particular, it's just to catch down that bit where it's open here. So you could just do that back seam if you wanted to. It's up to you. I say it really is down to how much effort you want to put into making this, really. So, still got a sore throat, sorry. Okay, so what will I do? I'll go inside. I could just sew that bit up. Oh, sorry. Could just sew that bit up with white cotton. But I'm thinking, well, you know, we've got all this stitching going on, but I want to bury that knot. So what I'm going to do is open up that again and get my needle right to the corner. Okay, coming out on the front at the corner. And then as I pull, sorry, caught the camera then. As I pull, that knot will be inside. Tuck that thread in. And just clip that seam again, just so it's all stayed together nicely. Alright, and then it's a bit bulky on the side here, so you might have to just go, sorry, keep going out of screen. Okay, it's a little bit stiff on the side. If you know how to do blanket stitch, that would be a perfect time to do blanket stitch. But as I say, I'm assuming this is a beginner's thingy very much. So I'm not going to introduce any more stitches at the moment. So just going backwards and forwards through all the layers. It is a bit thick here because you're, what have you got? You've got 2 layers of your back fabric because we've turned under that seam. You've got 2 layers of your front fabric and you've got a bit of the baby wipe in there as well. So just do 3 or 4, however many you can manage. This is where your thimble comes in handy because you can use that to shove the end of your pin. In fact, let's get it on before I end up hurting my finger. Go on, go through. Angle your hands away as you're pushing it through, else it will hurt. It will hurt, sorry, if the needle goes into it, is what I meant to finish off that sentence with. I say if you've pressed this before, your seams will be a lot flatter. My iron's not on, so I'm not stopping. Okay. You can, if you want, go round and do all the other edges as well. Alright, that'll look quite nice actually, quite smart, and it just flattens everything down and you'll end up with the stitches inside. That's fine, decorative element. Okay, so I'm going to stop there just because. So there we are. That would be, once you've decided what you want to do, that would be your little, if it lays flat, it will do once it's stitched, it's just buckling there. That'd be your little needle case. And how sweet is that? It's just the right size, it's perfect. Okay, as I say, if you had a couple of extra baby wipes, it would have been good to put them between top and bottom again, so you'd have 4 layers, because then it'd be nice and spongy inside here. But that is enough. You just loop it through there, and that's your needle keeper. All right, you can even keep your thread in there. If you had another little bit of fabric, you could have stitched in a little pocket. But that's, you know, you're kind of going a bit above and beyond now. All right, but you could have put a little pocket in there. But let's not go there. All right, so that'll be fine. That'll keep it in there. If you really, really wanted to, you could do a button here, and you could have just got a bit of thread through here, and then make a button loop. But let's not go there. If you've got a spare safety pin, just shove a safety pin in there. That'll be fine. Let me grab one. See what I mean? I've got quite a few of these. I say every blooming Christmas, guaranteed. So I keep them because, you know, you never know. If you haven't got a safety pin, you might have, bear with me, little, I don't know where it's gone. I've got like a little bulldog clip. Sorry, 2 seconds. Zero here. Let's grab that one. Right, you can either use a safety pin, that would close it really well, or if you've got a little bulldog clip, I've got a little decorative one somewhere, but I'm damned if I can see it. I haven't got my glasses on, so that wouldn't help. Yeah, just do that. Okay, that's fine. Perfect. If you've got a nice pretty decorative one, which I have somewhere. I haven't got my goggles on. I can't see very far without my goggles. Yeah, if you haven't got one of those, just use the safety pin. Just push it through and it should go through all the layers. Okay. Okay, and that's good enough. It's fine. Yeah. Right, and you can sit and admire that, because that's darn pretty. Okay. So nice and easy. I just thought I'd quickly put this one in, as I say, in case you are stitching frantically and you've got it to that point where you know, you're ready to move on and actually finish the project. So there we are. So yeah, I would definitely, for me, I would carry on, go around all those edges from the front, because that's the bit you'll see mostly. But like I say, if you've got a piece of felt, you could line it with a nice piece of felt. Kids might have some in there, you know, if you've got kids, or go and buy a piece, whatever. This is a real basic thing. So okay, I just thought I'd do that just so that you can crack on. All right, still try and get some bits and bobs. I say I really want to take you on the journey of the sort of more patchworky type ones. And yeah, that'll be next time. Okay, have a good day. Bye bye.